There's something incredibly frustrating seeing a very corrupt and very evil person suddenly try to reinvent themselves, suddenly trying to distance themselves from the chaos that they themselves sought to create. And this is something that we've now seen in South African politics, specifically in the last year. We've had Gigaba, the previous corrupt minister under Jacob Zuma. He came out and basically said that the ANC has no plan and that the ANC is in trouble. We had Mkhabisi Jonas say the exact same thing, that the ANC is going to cease to exist if there isn't stronger leadership and if stronger steps aren't taken. And the most recent one now is Naledi Pandor. Now, some of you will remember this woman, but Naledi Pandor is as corrupt as literally every other minister in the ANC, every other person connected to the ANC. Naledi Pandor has had a hand in it. So over the weekend, Naledi Pandor had the following to say. Just listen to this, and I get that some of you are going to get really annoyed, but you have to listen to really appreciate this.
There is nothing worse in an organization or in a country than a leader who has no solution. We can't be asking someone else, how do we solve this? The people are looking to us to resolve it.
So she's now going after Cyril Ramaphosa. You will remember that she didn't go after Cyril Ramaphosa during the first term of Cyril Ramaphosa when he was doing the exact same stuff, destroying the country in the exact same way, not coming up with solutions to the problems that South Africans had. In fact, when you look at Naledi Pandor's entire time in government, you will find that she's been in government since 2004 under Thabo Mbeki, one might argue the glory days of South Africa. But since 2009, she has served as the Minister of Science and Technology under Jacob Zuma, then in 2012 as the Minister of Home Affairs under Jacob Zuma, then in 2014 the Minister of Science and Technology again under Jacob Zuma, and then the Minister of Higher Education and Training under Cyril Ramaphosa, and then the Minister of International Relations and Cooperative Governance under Cyril Ramaphosa. And so she's been in government for some time. And the fact is, from about 2009, Naledi Pandor has been deathly quiet on the missteps, the corruption, the criminality within the ANC. She oversaw it. Her departments never received clean audits. Her departments never ran like a tight ship. She was part of all of it. But now that she is on the outs, now that she is no longer serving in government, and we'll discuss that in a second, now suddenly she has found her voice. And now she's ready to really speak out and make a difference. She's not the only one, as we've already discussed. There's been plenty of ministers that's been put out to pasture by the ANC that are now suddenly discovering that, oh, wow, the ANC is super, super corrupt. Do not be confused by this. These ministers, and Naledi Pandor as well, isn't speaking out because she suddenly found and discovered her conscience and decided that she wants to spend the remaining years of her life making a difference in South Africans' lives. The thing with the ANC, and the thing that people need to remember, is the ANC is a party of factionality. They're not a single group of people with a single goal. When you look at the DA, for example, they're a party with it's a single group of people with a single goal. They're all working towards the same spot, right? The same area of governance that they want to end up in. That's why people join the DA. Now, some of them might have methodological differences in how they want to achieve these things, but they want to achieve the same things. The ANC is very different. We know of at least three main factions within the ANC. You have the pure heart criminals, right, that just want to steal everything that isn't nailed down. Then you have the radical economic transformation group. They want to do all sorts of stuff to also steal and you know, everything that isn't nailed down. But unlike the pure criminals that just want to keep the party going, they want to sort of speed it up. And then you have the communist group, like the hardcore communists within the ANC. And these three factions have sort of always remained as a unit, because all three of them have always been able to benefit from the rule of the ANC. But what's interesting is, as these former leaders are now leaving the ANC and starting to warn about the downfall of the ANC, starting to warn that if the ANC doesn't correct ship, it might soon find itself completely destroyed. The first thing is true. If the ANC were to lose an election, it would be destroyed from within. No one outside would need to destroy it. These factions will tear each other apart as they're fighting over whatever is left of the crumbs. And there won't be an ANC within, I would argue, within 18 months of the dissolution of the ANC government, there would not be an ANC left. But moreover, this is factional warfare. When you look, for example, at Jacob Zuma praising General Mkhwanazi and attacking Ramaphosa over his decision to make Mkhunu a police minister, Jacob Zuma is corrupt number one, or was corrupt number one for a long time in this country. He was a very bad president. He oversaw effectively the wholesale of South Africa to private corrupt individuals. For Jacob Zuma to now suddenly start standing on principle, it's nice that he's praising General Mkhwanazi, or Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi of the police, because I think Mkhwanazi did a great and brave thing speaking out. But him attacking the ANC shows you something. They're all understanding that the ANC is crumbling. And each of them are hoping that they can get control, because maybe they can scoop a little bit more. Maybe there's a little bit more that they can extract from this organization before it finally goes belly up. But Pandor is also part of the Zuma faction. This is why Pandor had to be in Cyril Ramaphosa's first cabinet, because Ramaphosa in his first cabinet was really trying to keep the ANC together. And so he had to make deals with all of these separate factions to get their leaders into positions of power. This is one of the reasons why the ANC will never be an effective government, because for the ANC, they first have to make sure that the ANC is happy, and then they can start looking towards the governance of South Africa. This is another reason why the ANC will never be able to fight crime, because the criminals are inside the building. It is frustrating when I see someone like Naledi Pandor just speak out of her ass when she is more corrupt, most likely, than most. That's really all I wanted to share with you guys. I wanted to bring this to your attention because I wanted to let off a little bit of steam. I apologize if I got a little animated in the course of this video. I don't mean to get nasty or like get personal with stuff, but sometimes you look at these ministers that we've had, and you can't help but think, you know what, you guys are so evil that I want you to pay for your sins. I want you to pay for the evil that you have visited upon this country. And I personally feel like if you're found guilty of corruption, stealing the people's money, the death penalty is the least that we should demand of that, because you have stolen money that doesn't belong to you, that is meant to go to other people of your country that you are sworn to serve the day that you're elected into office. But hey, what do I know? I'm not in government, so clearly I don't have a say in this. Let me know in the comment section down below how you feel about these very, very corrupt and evil ministers. Or maybe you think I'm wrong about Naledi Pandor. I'd love to read your thoughts. As always, if you like what I do and you like the content that I make, please consider hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and leaving a comment, because it does truly help. And then very big thank you to all of the patrons and the YouTube channel members. To become a YouTube channel member, just hit the join button right below this video, or the link in the description down below for Patreon. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, be good to each other, be kind to each other, and I will see all of you in the next one. Peace.